Hey everybody, it's your old pal, SimplySuperDave, coming to you live from the great state of Louisiana, here in these crazy, very crazy United States of America, on this big round ball we call Earth, spinning out of control in the vast universe as we know as life. Whew, boy. I had to make this because it's my last ditch effort to just get it out there that we need to wake up. Like, none of this fucking woke bullshit, but we need to wake the fuck up. Alright? We are to the point now where a majority of people, if asked, do you believe everything that you see on TV? No. We know that the government's always lied to us. We've known that the government controls the media, thus works with corporations. That's why we're in the situation we're in now. Because career politicians develop this system, they endorse this system, and it keeps the everyday working American down. Keeps them, or allows them to a certain point. Barring some lawsuit or lottery win or whatever to come across a lump sum of money, you have an elevation point you cannot exceed. And there's certain ceilings. You know, once you get past this ceiling, well, this is the ceiling for the next level. And if you have enough money, there's no ceiling. You know, that's how our country works. So, with everything that you know now, with how the education system was created and why it was put together the way it was, the whole Rockefeller effect, go back 2 episodes if you don't know what I'm talking about. Not only that, but the higher education system, the medical system, all was put in place at the same time by the same family with the same intentions. We were always meant to be a nation of slave and consumers. We work for as minimum as amount to create the most amount of work so we can spend the most amount of money on the things that we work and do. Does that make sense? Anyway, it's a very vicious cycle. But if you take away too much money, I mean, this inflation is insane. If you can't see how corporations are favored by our government and people in place, the majority of them, at least half, they have to have a good section of it. Don't get me wrong, there are good politicians. I do not want to tear apart everyone. There are people out there that do represent their constituents from their region or for the majority of people in the country, but they're never heard. So, we had a debate last week, right? What? Just horrible. Didn't hear anything good about this debate. Not one good highlight. Not one good highlight at all. Alright? This is just a repeat of 2020 all over again. And 2016 all over again. And I just... This is where I like to point out that everything that you know, that you've been taught. For instance, if I point out that you should not vote for an either Republican or Democrat, if you start to defend either one of those parties or their candidate representation, stop. I don't even need to hear it. I'm 50 years old. I've heard it all. From the smartest to the dumbest of all of you. From every party. And all I hear is brainwashing. Well, this is what... I don't trust what the government says. So take your facts and shove it. I don't care. I go based off feeling. And what I know is right and wrong. And what is happening in our country is wrong. That if you think anything about this is great at all, and you start lecturing off to me policies that got put in place because you memorized them, that's like... Just because you know every page to the Bible doesn't mean you're going to get saved, motherfucker. No. Yeah, it's legislation on paper, but everything written in these 1,000-page fucking bills is just loopholed to death to favor corporate America over the people of America. Business is not people. I'm sorry, folks. Yeah, people before business. Well, business is... if they run this business, they can do whatever they... What? Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. It's selfish. It's so selfish to watch these inflations just happen across the board when we were all taught that supply and demand really affect inflation. Those 2020, all the money they printed out. They've been doing that for fucking years. They've gotten to a breaking point. This is the collapse. It may seem like it's, if it just keeps going, it'll save itself. It's not. And they're going to blame each other, but they're going to keep playing back and forth the power control, but with the same master plan in place. To fucking put you in a position where you have to work your entire life. For what? A bunch of shit you don't even need. No, most of it. Basics, necessities, and things like that. The way of life has existed for many, many years. We are living in the best times of ever. Like the conveniences and everything for you, the information that's available to every human being on the planet, no matter how they use it, whether it's for good or evil or whatever. This is the best time to ever be alive. You can complain that you got called a he instead of a she for whatever fucking reason. Even if you are a he or she, it doesn't matter. You can just have that argument now, and people will take it seriously. Like, do we have that much free time on our hands where we get into these mindless arguments that divide us because I don't know pronoun? Who gives a fuck? I hate pronouns. I hated them in fucking high school. What's the pronouns? I don't care. But no, I don't care about being a proper, perfect human being by society's standards. That's a pressure I don't fucking need in my life. Why? Because we all have that individual pressure of our own to be the best human being that we can be. Other people forcing you to be a certain type of people only provokes what Dave Chappelle says. If they tell you don't say it, even if you don't agree with it, say it anyway. Just to prove the point that nobody can tell you what to do or say. Now, you have to live with the consequences of those. I always tell people that. I'm not like, well, it's okay to murder people. No. If you go murder people, we're going to catch you and kill you or put you in jail for the rest of your life. But you said I can do... Doesn't mean you can do evil things. You can do good things, too. But a lot of people show a lot of pride in that, which kind of takes away the whole point of doing it to begin with. But anyway, let's get back to the point, this debate thing. This is my last and final call for all you true Americans out there to realize that they both aren't for you. They don't care about the people first. That is what makes this such a wonderful fucking place to live on Earth right now. And you're going to throw it all away and become like every other country on this planet? No. That makes no sense. At all. At all. Well, other countries go, yeah, like China, all these great, wonderful, I would love to visit them, but never live there. Once you realize what people are allowed and what they're told, we're allowed to do. As soon as I hear, we're allowed to do this in this country, when they hear those interviews and things, I'm like, you're allowed. You're allowed. You're an adult. You know, that's what makes this country so great, is that freedom came first. Like when people go, well, how do you feel about any topic? I'll be like, well, this is how I feel about it, but this isn't how I think everybody should choose, because everybody lives a different life. There's different situations. There's different reasons why you would make a different decision than me. And I would support you having those options. So I'm a big option fan. Even if I don't agree with the other option, I do realize it's more wrong to force somebody to do something that they don't want to do. So, with that being said, I'm looking at this culture today. I was a big Democrat fan younger days. When I believed in one of the two parties, I was always believed in foundations and core values and things like that, but I believed that we needed to move forward as a society, so my Democratic side came out more than my Republican side. I believe most people in this country are in the middle. They just can't say it because you're scared to. Don't be. That's why I think at the next debate we should have more options up on the stage besides these two. There's more people that are going to be on that ballot for you to pick from. And I say any of them that are allowed in all 50 states to vote for should be allowed on that stage. Period. People need to be given options. And this forceful media, these two only, nothing good to say about it. It's like, what? This is the most important position in our country, and everybody's treating it like I don't really even know anymore. And I don't know what this country desires to be as much as just being free. But yet they want to restrict other people and don't realize you tear away freedom when you restrict others. You basically become a Nazi. And that's a very dirty word to use. But at the same time, that's what it reminds me of the most, is watching all these people force other people to do the right thing. And even if it is the right thing or not, it doesn't matter. The point is you're doing something wrong, enforcing something that you believe is right, which cancels it out completely. Nobody cares about the point because all they care about is what you're doing to them as a whole based on the few. It's like changing laws because of a mass shooting, for example, which is a very touchy topic. And I believe there should be gun control. But just to take away a weapon isn't going to solve that problem. You got someone that's going to, well, it takes away the ability to kill as it doesn't matter. I know that's wrong to hear, but it doesn't matter because they're going to carry it out anyway. But you can't argue with less, I get that, mass weapons. But at the same time, you restrict the weapons to the point where you can't defend yourself against the army that we have, which is the whole point of that law to begin with, is so we could fight our own army that the government was sent against the people, because at some point our forefathers knew that our government would be corrupted the way it is today, and that at some point the people would actually have to rise up and overthrow it and reinstate a government that is for the people, by the people, But government's always known that's the plan, so they've always had a way of taking away all that power that we have. And that way, they can always control everything, including the way you vote. I'm just saying, vote free, folks. Go in that booth and vote freely. Don't be scared. Demand more options. Demand more options. That's your right as an American. Don't give it away. Don't conform. Don't do what most people on media are telling you to do. Do what you feel like you need to do. And listen to the real people in your real life. Not all these bots and AI-controlled society members that are on the internet. Disconnect yourself, but stay connected so you can stay atop of things, if that makes sense. Got to keep your head on a swivel. You got to keep your mind open. But filter everything that comes in. Pick apart the logical, smart things and just toss away the bullshit. And there is a lot of it. Well, that does it for this episode of Staying Super with SimplySuperDave. Remember, vote freely. But if you vote for one of those two parties, you're still in chains. And you like them. It's the truth. Be brave. Be bold. Be an American. And fight the system. And fight for your freedom by voting anything but red or blue. Much love. SimplySuperDave out.